Hello, listeners. Welcome to my podcast show. This is your host, Isaiah Neni, and this is the GameTime Gazette, where we're talking all sports, including Formula One, UFC, boxing, NBA, NFL, NHL, and more. Let's have some fun. Let's get ready.
Alrighty, welcome back, guys. This is the GameTime Gazette. This is your host, Isaiah Neni. I am joined today by my new co-host, Nye Simmons. It's hopefully be a regular thing. Just gonna get Nye to say a little bit about himself before we get into anything else.
Yeah, I just want to say, firstly, appreciate you bringing me on and joining it. I watch a lot of podcasts regularly, so to be a part of one is be pretty dope. I watch NBA regularly, watch NFL. I dibble and dabble in MLB and the NHL.
I hear that stuff.
College basketball as well, so just being able to chop it up with you should be good.
Yeah, and I hear that, for me, I'm not even no MLB expert, no baseball, no hockey expert. I just watch a few games. It's because more times it's because I started betting on it, and then I got more into the games, but like NFL, like you got a favorite team, NFL, NBA?
NFL, probably the Ravens.
The Ravens,
I like Lamar a lot, and I think because they're so close, I do cheer for the Bills too. But I would say the Ravens for sure. NBA, I probably Clippers. Big Paul George fan, so.
And I hate that guy Kawhi still, but
Kawhi, what he did to the city, right?
I'm a big Raptors guy still, and especially that 2019 run was magical. Yeah. Thinking we're gonna run it back, and then all that, but it's whatever. We're growing again. We're growing again. But that's nice to hear still. So I'm just you told me like you're a baller too. You went to JUCO. Yeah. Tell me a little about your playing career.
I've been playing for a while. I'm from Nova Scotia.
Okay,
and I moved all the way west to Alberta for a couple years, and I moved here. I went to prep school for a couple years here in high school.
Okay.
Senior year of high school, I was in America in North Carolina at a prep school there, and then last year I was in a JUCO. I would have been probably back there or another school if some weird stuff didn't happen within the school. But
be like that.
It all worked out. I'm happy to be back home. Really, still hooping. Hopefully next year I'll be able to be on a team and whatnot. But yeah.
Yeah, now word hear that still, and that's good to hear. Still got a baller on the podcast still. Now,
sure,
I'm a little baller, but I stopped in high school still. That's all. I saw it in the past still. But let's get into some talks from the sports world today. Let's talk about like the most NFL. The combine, the draft, all of that starting today. So I feel like that's the first thing we should stop on. The mock draft. You watch any college football this year?
I watched a little bit, like the big games, especially when Colorado was jumping. I was watching.
For sure.
Like all the bowl games near the end of the season. I watched.
More times, it's because all these picks. There's so much players in the NFL drafts. I can't even keep up with it. But I've really been keeping up with the Bears for sure.
The Bears, that whole situation. Yeah.
Like that whole. Justin Fields thing, him unfollowing the Bears, and then like the whole thing. I'm thinking he's gonna get traded. I seen the whole betting odds. He's minus 300 to go to the Falcons right now.
Yeah.
And it's because Caleb Williams. It makes sense for the Bears to do it though. It's a bold move, but it makes sense for it. For it to happen, because it's they got Patrick Mahomes in the whole division.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know.
They need something new. I feel like, and based off what I've seen from Caleb Williams, I think he could come in right away and make an impact for any team he goes to. Whatever team he goes to, I think he's kind of almost like a CJ Stroud effect. Almost.
No, because they're saying he's like the Steph Curry of football, has all these different type of throws. But that's the thing about football. I really don't even understand it, because if I'm going to be honest, I started, I'm not new to football, but football is such a sport where it's if you've been watching it, I've been watching it for 10 years, and I still don't understand how QBs could be so top to the top in college, and I guess that's in all sports too, right? Where it's honestly, in college they're super neat, but I mean in football it's more glaring. It happens so often where it's bro, the QB, like Baker Mayfield. What's this guy's name on the Jets? Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson,
bro. Zach Wilson was supposed to be a guy. Like they were saying, this guy's throwing 80-yard throws in the combine, this and that. Guy can't play it down in the NFL.
With that, I think it comes down to a lot of times the situation too. Like if you get drafted to a poorly ran organization, it probably can be hard for you. Or if you got a coach that don't believe in you as much, I feel like some guys get unlucky. Some guys just stop working and they don't have that same fire.
Nah, that's
fizzle out.
Yeah, that's true. That's true still. Not even looking at it, because like just the whole thing. You even saying the CJ Stroud, CJ Stroud thing, right? Like the perfect pairing with him and D'Amico Ryan, like the whole perfect coach. That's true. Like it's always politics in sports. That's actually like the one
even,
thing.
The guy on the Panthers quarterback, Bryce Young.
Bryce Young, yeah.
I think he could be good. He just don't have. I don't think he has the weapons
structure
around him, and
I mean,
the
like the whole
organization may not be the best. So. But I think he's nice though. So that first year was rough for him, but I think if he can get in the right situation and get some weapons, I think he could. I think he can make some noise too.
Yeah, nah, for sure. I mean, like, you were hearing the whole thing that about like what the owner was doing. David Tupper, that's his name, David Tupper. So like throughout the year, Frank Reich was the coach, right? And like throughout the year, every game he'd get Frank Reich like on a Monday. So they have a game on Sunday. On Monday, Frank Reich is breaking down the game, all the film, all this to the owner, and it's like, that's dysfunctional. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why is like he's so involved? Like, it's good to have a owner that cares, because obviously it's better for the sport, this and that, better for the organization. But that guy cared so much that like I feel like it ruined the whole relationship. Like you said, like the whole dysfunctionality of it all. But like even Caleb Williams now going to the Bears, like they trading away a Justin Fields, a guy that, like, to be honest, in my opinion, they didn't really give him a chance too, right? Like, like he never really had an O-line, never really had receivers. I mean, he got a receiver this year, right? But
this past year,
and it was all right. It was much better than it was 2 years ago, and like the defense got a little better as well throughout the year.
They didn't finish the season too bad. For me to, but I mean, they got Caleb Williams coming in, so
I guess
they probably like the way we finished the season. If we have a better quarterback, maybe we could have that from the jump next year. So
that's the way to look at it too, because I mean, if you're not taking chances in sports, like, what are you really doing, to be honest? Like, and like we look at like number 2, the Commanders, like those guys, same thing. I mean, same type of situation, because Sam Howell, that guy had no O-line, like the worst O-line in football. 32 in sacks. Like, he took the most sacks, I think, in like up until week 12. He was taking like 30 sacks or something. Like, it was a lot, right? So it's like, even like him moving on, like seeing that Jaden Daniels is number 2 prospect or like projected right now to go. And Jaden Daniels obviously had a great career in LSU. Obviously that whole thing, like, where he transferred to LSU this year, had a great year, won the Heisman, had all like better numbers than Joe Burrow's last year type thing. But like Sam Howell did, I like, again, feel like he didn't get a chance there, like that's the NFL, I guess, that's the NFL. Last team I wanted to look at, I guess, in the NFL draft was Drake May and the New England Patriots, because they're obviously gonna take you've been keeping around with their situation too, like they're obviously going to take a quarterback, right? So
with Mac Jones.
Mac Jones is that whole thing last year, how, like, to be honest, because the Patriots is one team that I look at, like, it's like the Raptors a few years ago in 2019 or 2021 or whatever, whenever we drafted Scotty, we had a good team. It was just we needed one more guy.
One more
you know what
piece,
I'm saying? Like, because the Patriots have a great defense, and like they could go out, you could buy receivers. They have the cap space to do that. Get a good, so they're banking on this, QB.
The only thing for now, they don't have Belichick no more, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Gerard Mayo's the new head coach. That whole thing with Belichick, but that was chopped like that. Bro, I thought he was gonna get a job. Like,
that was weird. I was like, what team was it? I think it was the Falcons. Because the
they interviewed him twice. Interviewed him twice, and that's what I was shocked at. Because when they brought him into the second time, I thought it was like, it's a done deal. Like, he's gonna be an Atlanta Falcon. But like, I guess that's life still. Man, just move on. And like, that's actually life. That's actually life. Somebody that's not moving on in life is LeBron James. You know, I wanted to. Yeah, that game yesterday. I'm not even a LeBron fan. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, you a LeBron fan?
Yeah.
You're a LeBron fan. We're gonna have we could have a discussion on the GOAT later, still. But you know, because I promise you, like, I'm the biggest. Like, if LeBron does something good, I'll give like 2 counteractives. All right, like, LeBron's not. But fam, him playing, he's what, 40 this year, not 39, bro. Whatever he is, like, and he's at a high level. Like, last night was bonkers. I was watching that game. My homie had money on the game, and he had money on the Clippers, bro. First half, man, sitting pretty. Clippers are hitting all their shots, this and that. Second half, vintage Bron comes back. I'm like, what? That's Bron?
I was watching the game. I think the Clippers were up 21, I think, in the fourth. And I'm like, all right, I'm about to go to sleep. This game's done. Yeah. I'll look at the box score tomorrow morning, and then see Bron come down, hit 1-3. Come down and get another 3 and another, and I'm like, oh! Before you knew it, it was like tie game. Yeah, it's just crazy.
What have you been thinking about, like, because this whole year, right? Obviously, the Lakers they're 32-28, but obviously it's not where they want to be. Because looking at the standings, right, in the West, and how it's so tight knit, and they're what, 9th in the West. How you been thinking? Like, what's your outlook on? Are you a Lakers fan? Really? Because you're a LeBron fan?
Definitely not. I like LeBron, but
that Lakers side.
I got uncles and cousins who like the Lakers, so I'm for sure anti-Lakers.
Anti-Lakers. But what you think? Because he's been like basically carrying the team. Like, I guess AD's been having like he has good games, but his inconsistency to me is crazy, bro. He'd have a 30-point game and then have 3 15-point games, you know, and it's like, it's not the same type of impact still. So, but like, what do you been thinking about? Yeah,
honestly, this last stretch is probably huge for them, because I feel like if they can make the playoffs, like win the play-in, make the playoffs, and get a spot, I don't know if one of those top younger teams would want to see the Lakers, especially OKC with their OKC's lack of size. I don't think they would want to see the Lakers, but I also don't know. I can see the Lakers not making it either. So it's like, I mean they'll probably be pretty safe in the play-in, so they'll at least be able to make the play-in, but I think it's just hard to bet against LeBron James.
That's true.
Anthony Davis, he's been a proven playoff performer too.
True.
Darvin Ham, though.
Yeah, now that's the question I was leading to, because I'm like, is that the coach that like the Lakers are gonna take into the playoffs?
Only defense Ham has is he got LeBron James, which is basically a second coach. But if they didn't have LeBron, if Darvin Ham was the head coach, no shot for the Lakers.
I think he loses his job by now, bro. The way
I thought he was gonna get,
you know what I'm saying? All the fire that he's been under, and that's like a testament, to be honest, about how much LeBron trusts him. So I guess we'll see how it goes. Cause like you said, like that's the one thing in my head too. Like when it gets to playoff time, experience is like the number one thing, right? And like looking at like a man like LeBron James, the Lakers, AD. It could click, because OKC, the Timberwolves, young teams, especially like a Cat. I don't trust Cat in the playoffs. I trust Cat. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in Cat in the playoffs. Like, he's going to give me 30, going to give me 5 assists, 8 rebounds. I know he's going to give me the numbers, but Cat, I don't know what he's going to bring to the table. Rudy Gobert, that guy's not even an offensive.
He could be exploited.
You know what I'm saying?
You've seen what happens with him in the playoffs before.
You know, and even though Shea's an MVP candidate, like, everybody else on that team's younger than 24 years old. And I feel like, that's why you give Shea the MVP, but I don't even think they make it out the first round. Like, even if they verse, the Warriors. I mean, if they get like the Warriors or the Lakers right now, Warriors, Lakers, Kings are probably the teams they're going to verse. Or Mavericks, I guess, if they drop a little lower to third. Yeah. But, in that top 3, you're going to verse one of those bottom 3. I don't know if they're going to make it out.
And Shea is one of my favorites. Really? I like that whole OKC team. They just, once playoff comes, it's about size, defense, experience.
That's about, being there, knowing that you did it, that's true. That's true. And the team that lost yesterday, I want to talk about the Clippers a little bit. Even though I don't like these guys, playing pretty well, playing good basketball. Yeah. Like when they first traded for James Harden, that whole thing about like they were I know they lost 6 straight. Yeah, sure. Like 6 straight to start, and they were like 1-8 or something, 1-9 for those first 10 games, and it looked like it was gonna be bad. It was a bad matchup. Harden was toxic. All this and that, and I mean, Ty Lue's going for Coach of the Year. Kawhi's going for another chip this year. They're looking good. What do you think about the Clippers? Your team, eh?
Yeah, I like how they lost. I know, like previous years has been the whole talk around, Kawhi, Paul George, they're gonna be healthy. Do they take the regular season serious? I think just from watching a lot of their games this year, you can kind of see a difference in like the amount of games for sure that Paul George, Kawhi have been playing. And then like the coaching job Tyler's doing with the rotation, figuring out that rotation and putting guys in positions. Letting Harden rock pretty much, and PG and Kawhi have been doing their thing. Russ gives great energy off the bench. Terrence Mann has been good. Powell, he's a walking bucket, super consistent. So I think I like their chances this year for sure.
Yeah, now sitting in 4th in the West right now, and that's not bad with how close the West is right now.
If they win 2 in a row, they can bump right back up. So
yeah, and with how they started, with the whole James Harden thing, 1-9, that bad start. But yeah, and I like it. Yeah, got great pieces on the bench. Norman Powell, always love for that guy. Always, because Raptors, they didn't do him dirty. You know what I'm saying? But like he's always talking about he wanted to stay this and that. So always have love for that guy still. If I'm rooting for anybody on that team, it's Norman Powell. Quick look to the Eastern Conference real quick. I guess a few of the games that happened yesterday were the Mavericks against the Raptors, kind of a blowout there. The Cavs, that Max Strus game winner 2 games ago against the Mavericks, trying to move up against, the Celtics are just leading the
Celtics is,
and it's quietly dominating too. Like, I don't even book it like where it's like like, do you think the Celtics are gonna go on and do something this year? Because like, I don't know, I don't trust them, man.
I think as far as the East, I think they'll run through the East easy. I think they can go against one of those teams out West. I don't know. I think the West has a few teams that can give
the
them
West has a lot of teams.
A run for their money, but out East, I think they just have too much from top to bottom. Like, they got Holiday, White, Brown, Tatum, Porzingis. Pritchard's been good off the bench this year. Hauser's been letting it go off the bench this year. So they got Mazzulla, a good coach.
Yeah, they definitely got the best, starting 5 in the league. Like, when you look at it as, in totality of it all, they definitely got the best starting 5 in the league. And just looking at, the Sixers don't got Joel Embiid. I talked about it a few episodes ago, bro. They look so trash without Embiid. Like, because Maxi's not, I don't know, Maxi's like, he's like, how there's some players that are like just born closers, right? Like, they walk into it when they're given that role. But like, for me, when I look at him, he's not like, he's always so passive at the end of the games.
I think Embiid going down was definitely an adjustment for him, because now he's the number one.
Yeah,
he went from the second option to number one in just a matter of days. So I know he's definitely probably seeing more defensive coverage than he did previously. So I kind of contribute that lack of aggression to he's the main guy now, so he can't just get the second best defender and be like, hey,
that's true.
You guys, all the energy goes to Embiid. I'm gonna pop this 3. So but I don't think until Embiid comes back, I don't really think Philly's gonna be much of a.
And it's scary for them too, because like Embiid got the surgery and you don't even know when he's coming back in the playoffs. So
it's like, even if he does come back, is he gonna be 35 in 11 like he was earlier?
Yeah, like that whole MVP run that he was on, and then it's like that whole adjustment coming back and always coming back into playoffs. It always hurts the team in a way, because it's like the switch again, right? Because from Maxey to Embiid again, and that whole thing. Wanted to talk about the Bucks real quick, because you were talking about just competitors against the Celtics. Looking at the Bucks, and I said it a few episodes ago too with the whole Doc Rivers thing. Like, I didn't understand why they fired Adrian Griffin. Like, I liked Adrian Griffin. Like, because sometimes like the media says something, or like the team isn't where they think they were supposed to be, but they were still really good. But they don't, and I feel like they just made like a quick decision to thinking they would fix it, but I felt like it made the team worse, because Adrian Griffin, he gave that team like a new identity. Like, he did have a lot of offensive scheme and not a lot of defensive scheme, but like felt like they had to let it run.
I think a lot of it is personnel though too. Like, everybo's talking about their defense, but I'm like, they only can really do so much. Dame has never been a good defender. Malik Beasley he's just a 3-point shooter. Like, he's not. And then Middleton's been in and out the lineup.
True.
So it's like, I think they had Cam Payne before he got traded. So there's no perimeter defense to even,
to start with. Nah, that's true. He was doing the best with what he had, and I felt like, I don't even know. Like, it felt like there had to be something else too. You know, because it can't just be just basketball. Because if it was just basketball, they weren't that far away from the Celtics at that point.
Second seed. That's how we end up getting to be the coach for the All-Star.
Yeah, because he was
so high up in the standings.
Well. Yeah,
so
bro.
like,
only 12 losses, 31 wins at that point. Like, they were doing really well. So it's like, I felt like, it was something about maybe just Giannis didn't like him. And that whole thing about Giannis getting, that LeBron treatment. Man's talk about the whole around the league, these superstars get this LeBron treatment that they all feel like they should have, but not everybody should have it. Even when they're like the best superstars, like Giannis Antetokounmpo, doing bro, they gave it to Joel Embiid and they traded away Jimmy Butler and kept Tobias Harris. Like, you know what I mean?
Stuff like that is,
you got as a general manager, as an owner, you got to make decisions best for your team, not as the player doesn't like or even Damian Lillard didn't like, Adrian Griffin maybe, I
think a lot of it probably came down to Doc's reputation for sure.
That too, yeah.
Adrian Griffin being the first year coach, so
easy to let him go, right?
Yeah.
You keep up a racing though?
Nah.
I don't really, not at all.
I mean, I could probably tune in and figure some stuff out, but not at all. Really.
Definitely last year was definitely a year that you probably I didn't even have any type of inkling to tune in because, bro, one player's winning the whole. Max Verstappen, you heard of this guy? Max Verstappen, he's a racer for Red Bull. I mean, he dominated last year. He won the team itself won 95% of all the races. Though.
How many races is there?
There's 24 races, and they won 23.
Damn.
They only lost one race.
Yeah.
Only lost one race. And in that race, they even came in second. This is Max Verstappen still. Young guy, but I mean, the whole thing about F1, because I only got into it, you see the Drive to Survive on Netflix, and I started watching that back in COVID, because they started that whole series back in I believe early 2010 to get people more on the sport, but it wasn't even popular like that. It started building up a little bit more popularity, I guess, towards COVID when it got closer, because I guess Mercedes and Lewis Hamilton were the top.
I heard of Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, and he was the top where they won 7-8 straight. He won 7 straight titles on his own, and Mercedes won 8. So there's a constructors title, and that's the team, and there's 10 teams, right? And for driver's title, there's 20 drivers, and then that's so there's 2 titles to go around every year. That's basically what they fight for. Even though they have individual races, those individual races are, I guess, fighting for that title. That's the championship. And Mercedes dominated, doing it the way the Red Bull's doing. But Red Bull last year was in all sports, to be honest, because I keep up with it, and it's and I've never seen it in my life where every single race this brother won the race, bro. And in the one race they didn't win, it's because it was they didn't win in no, they won in Monaco. The one race they didn't win, it was I feel like it was just engine failure, something to do with he couldn't finish, you know,
something out of his control.
Out of his control, bro. And it's looking at it, it's this sport, it could be much bigger in more than Europe, because it's big in Europe because it's a billionaire sport. It's more about the the behind the scenes, how they make the car. Some guys just knowing seeing fast cars run, seeing state of the art works, those are $1 million cars, and some guys just seeing that. They don't even the whole racing aspect of it all, but the racing aspect of it all sucks because, bro, it happened where Red Bull would just have somebody would just be smarter to do one thing out of the box, we've been talking about, just doing something different, right? And they did themselves. And set themselves apart, okay, taking a risk, taking a chance, and the risk, their reward, because it's there's only every 4 years or something you get a regulation change, and that's when they you have to strip the car, make it brand new, and make a new concept, right? So that's when everyone starts at zero, and that happened 3 years ago, where everyone started at 0 because they wanted to restart Mercedes dominance and all that. Because in this sport, you have to do that because it's a common thing.
Bring off 10 years straight just fear winning.
That's 10 years. Yeah, like it's just because that car, like the concept, because they started on day one and they already had the advantage. Even if that other team starts coming up a little bit closer, that day one advantage is so big because they're already on day 2, day 3, and they're always gonna continue building. But they start racing this week. I say watch a race this week because
I'm about to tune in.
Tune in because this year, what I was gonna say today, free practice 2. So they have like 3 free practices, qualifying, and then the race. So there's like 5 events on a race weekend, right? So free practice 2 happened today. Free practice 1 and 2, they both happen on the same day. And Mercedes and Red Bull, or Mercedes and Ferrari, are looking much faster. So it's like there's gonna be some competitiveness still. So this year, and I say tune in still. I
gotta tune into that. Expand my horizon.
And I guess I don't know what else to really talk about. We got a lot of games going on today though. I guess that we're gonna come back and talk about tomorrow. Got a few good ones. Rookie of the Year race, Thunder and Spurs, Chet and Wemby. Wemby's, that guy's different. I mean, talk about that guy. We could have a whole pod about that. Talking about that guy.
That guy is crazy.
This
is the worst he's probably gonna be.
I'm telling you, because everybody around him, right? It's only Vassell and I forget who that other guy, the Vassell.
Keldon Johnson.
Yeah, Keldon Johnson. It's only them two. It's only them two that are like that I would keep if I'm like rebuilding the Spurs. And they got like 3 draft picks this year in the top 10. They got the Raptors pick in the top 6 if we get it there. So they definitely this is the worst he's gonna be. It's crazy stuff. That Wemby dominance.
He's had a 5x5 the other day.
Brother, he's like almost averaging a 5x5. Yeah. Like what, 20 points, 10 rebounds, 10 not 10. Five blocks or five assists, something like, or five assists, a few blocks, a few steals, and he fills the board, bro. As a basketball player, guy's complete. But there could be some good games to talk about tomorrow. As we get off, anything to sign off? You got anything to say?
Great first episode. Build on it. Be back for tomorrow. Got more in store for y'all, and
you said it best. And it's been your host. This has been the GameTime Gazette. Leave a review if you've listened to this point on. You got to the end. So let us know what you think about the whole episode. And let us know what you think about what we talked about today. And have a great day. As always, stay blessed. See you later.